Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan with your Thursday weather update. And we've got two weather headlines to focus on today. Number one, the first big cold blast of 2022 on its way for New Zealand. And the second headline, an out-of-season tropical cyclone has formed near Vanuatu and New Caledonia. So we'll kick off with that. This is the storm up here. It's been named Gina, and it is likely to not grow beyond Category 1, which is it is right now. Named by the Fiji Met Service just this morning, and is tracking slowly towards New Caledonia. It'll bring very localized windy weather and rain. Rain is probably the main feature. It's unlikely to really get further south because of a very big high that is rolling in from south of Australia. And the other feature here, this is this low pressure zone spiraling away between Tassie and the South Island. And this is what is driving in the pockets of heavy rain around the country today. There may be some forecasts in New Zealand that say you're going to get 30 or 40 millimetres and you don't get it. That's because it's a bit patchy. And in between the heavy downpours, it's just sort of drizzly and light. So we are seeing some big downpours here and there across the country and a few isolated thunderstorms as well. So on the wind map, you can see the cyclone up here, Category 1 Cyclone Gina. The cyclone season ends at the end of April. So we're definitely running a few weeks late, with this one forming. And there was one just the other day on the western side of Australia as well. So definitely seeing warmer than average conditions to the north. That's part of the La Nina that's still hanging on. And that's helping to produce that low pressure zone, that cyclone. But this is the main low pressure on the map today. And this is what is driving in this big southerly in tandem with the high out here near Tasmania. So at the moment, New Zealand's got the mild west to northwest winds, but that is about to change. Last feature, with this big high, there is a big southerly flow coming in, and it curves around up here in the north and is driving in plenty of rain for Queensland. So here is the tracking for Cyclone Gina. Category 1, we pretty much agree with that. It doesn't look as though it's going to get much stronger than that. Moves over parts of Vanuatu and then it comes in close to New Caledonia. It's not likely to be a major system causing problems, but it's interesting and certainly one for the history books. And then a little bit further over, those easterly winds, also partially that southerly change coming in, helping to feed some heavy rain just in these coastal areas of Queensland. All right, let's get into the forecast now for Friday. So this is when the main cold pulse of air moves into New Zealand. So big southerly flow coming through, and by the end of Friday, the whole country will be colder with that southerly change. Snow across the Southern Alps, and it could get down to just a few hundred metres. So that impacts some of those state highways, the alpine passes. And it will be cold. Wind chill will be below zero at times, so keep in mind livestock that are exposed to these kinds of conditions. The North Island won't be as cold at first, but like I say, by nighttime it does get colder. Now as we get into that system, that sort of windy system peaks, we think Friday night, Saturday morning. So as you can see, it's pretty windy right across the country. This area here in the orange shading is bang on gale force, so hovering right around gale force. So that windy weather will be moving in. Auckland's one of those wind tunnels, so it's going to be blustery in Auckland across Friday and Saturday. This is 6 p.m. Friday. Let's go into the weekend. Told you that high was big. I mean, this is a really big high. It stretches all the way up to the tropics, and that's the reason why Cyclone Gina isn't likely to last too long. It's really going to run into this big area of high pressure. But as you can see on Saturday, plenty of windy southerlies blowing around the New Zealand area, those gale force winds out here on the western side, more gales down here as well, and wet weather still impacting Southland, but not really going too much further north. It'll be drying out a lot more in the South Island, but another burst of showers and patchy rain for the North Island as well, and that wet weather up here coming into Queensland. As we go into Sunday, sou'westers are the main theme for the New Zealand area. Still wet down in Southland, but fairly dry once you get north of Otago, with the mountains and ranges getting in the way, and just the usual west to southwest showers for the whole western side of New Zealand. And there is this big high starting to roll in. Now, as we take a look at the maps going into next week, Monday, we kick off with this big high rolling in over Tasmania. Now, that could be bringing in a few frosts here and there. Further to the north, that's the leftovers of what was Cyclone Gina. You can see it falling apart, not really looking too threatening. And a big storm system out here near Western Australia. It'll drive in some windy nor'westers for a time and then some rain. But as we go into Tuesday, you can see it falls apart quite quickly, driving in that westerly change for you. In the New Zealand area, another pulse of colder airflow coming in on Tuesday. And as that high rolls in later next week, that's when the frosts are most likely to come into the New Zealand area. That is all from me for today. Back again on Friday with our next update.